Okay, let's practice rounding decimals. We already know how to round whole numbers. For example, if we have the number 78 and we're asked to round to the nearest tens place, we find that place. We look behind it, that number becomes the boss. We know 8 is a big number. 8 tells the 7 to round up. So 78, rounding to the tens place, rounds to 80. We're going to do pretty much the same thing with decimals. So you definitely need to know the names of the decimal places first, but we know that with decimals, any zeros we have in the back are kind of magic ghost zeros. We don't need them. We can actually get rid of them. Makes rounding decimals a little bit faster. So first of all, let's practice rounding to the nearest tenth. We know the tenths place is right after the decimal, so we can have the number 6 and 45 hundredths. We find the place that we're rounding to. We find the tenths place. We look behind to find out what to do. 5 tells 4 to round up. We remember to keep everything else. We still have 6 holes, so we're going to keep our 6 holes. 5 tells the 4 to round up to a 5, and we don't need that 0. Remember, there's that magic 0 back there. You don't need it in your answer. Rounding to the nearest tenths place, you should end in the tenths place, 6 and 5 tenths. We can round to the nearest hundredth. So we start by finding that place. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths tells me the 8 is in the hundredths place. So the 1 is in charge. We keep everything in front of that place. 1 is a small number, so the 8 gets to stay. And you're done. You don't have to put any extra zeros. Now, what's new about rounding decimals is sometimes you will be asked to round to the nearest whole number. There's no place called the whole number. That's lots of places, but that means you're looking at the ones place. Okay? Nearest whole number means we're rounding this part to the ones place. And we do the same steps. The next number is the boss. 8 tells 9 to round up. In this example, it rounds up to 10, which means we have to jump over to the next place. So rounding this number to the nearest whole number rounds up to 30. One way that I like to think about rounding to the nearest whole number with decimals is to think about money. If I say I have $29.85, about how much money do I have is rounding to the nearest whole number. I have about $30. So when you see a question that says round to the nearest whole number, you're rounding to the ones place. And you want to end up with a whole number. You don't need a decimal and all those extra zeros. You just don't need them. You just need to have a whole number.